This is the Shongo Diaries, a love story told in emails and whispers. Before the receipts, before the red flags had names, just a girl from Mount Vernon and a man called Shongo, building something messy, magnetic, and maybe meant to be. It's the moments we don't post, the truth we send at 2 a.m., and the kind of love that teaches you about yourself, even when it breaks you open. Based on a true story written by M. Madison. Welcome to the Shongo Diaries, where love is layered and nothing is just a coincidence. Welcome back to the Shongo Diaries. This week, Monica and Shongo navigate a house full of tension, temptation, and truth. A puppy wreaks havoc. Phones go missing and old messages resurface, stirring feelings Monica can't ignore. Jobs, love, family, and secrets collide, and a woman's intuition isn't always wrong. Will she confront, will she wait, or will the chaos of real love teach her something she never expected? Press play and step inside the messy, magnetic world of Monica and Shongo.
Welcome back, listener. We're diving into the Shongo Diaries again, M. Madison's raw look at online, dating back in 2008.
Absolutely. Last week, we talked about episodes 29 and 30, that promise of messy, magnetic love. Well, week 31, it really delivers on the messy part.
It sure does. This week, it feels like we're right there in the thick of it with Monica and Shongo. We see everything from, fun travel talk to these really shocking confrontations.
And some deeply personal stuff Monica's going through. It's heavy, definitely, but also shows so much about how relationships bend and sometimes break under pressure.
Yeah, the emotions are running really high. Things get incredibly complicated for Monica. Let's get into it. So the week opens, and it feels kind of hopeful, almost. Shongo suggests a trip, St. Martin in September.
Right. He throws out the idea, mentions the JetBlue fare, $450 round trip, says he needs a break, wants to show her the island. It sounds nice.
And Monica's reply is quick, it's playful. She points out it works with her son Jordan's school schedule, but teases him, calls him Mr. Busybody, asking if he even knows how to relax.
It shows that easy dynamic they have, or seem to have, right? That kind of banter. Sets a light tone initially.
Exactly. But that lightness doesn't last long.
Yeah.
We quickly get pulled into Monica's professional world. Trustful stuff.
Yeah. A message from a colleague, Dave Nelson. Turns out she's been off work for 2 months, feeling bored. Then she's fielding calls about a reality show. 50 Cent.
Right, and she's joking she needs a higher rate now that the judge ordered 50 Cent to give up his guns. Just a glimpse of that hustle.
And it's not just that. There's an investor for her own show idea. Wants her to test shoot his daughter. Probably sizing her up.
And then she gets approached about another reality show. This one about women who've had babies with NBA players.
Wow. And her reaction says it all. I'd rather go back to corporate. Like screaming it.
Totally. You feel that longing for just stability, something solid amid all this chaos in the entertainment world she's navigating.
And then, just as you're processing her work life, something totally different happens. The Purrs in the Park incident.
Yeah, really unsettling. She tells Shongo about it finds a man peeking between her legs while she's having espresso in Bryant Park. Her text to Shongo is short, though. Just the facts. Ends with love you.
But the message she sends to her best friend, Todd, much more detail, much more. Monica. She mentions wearing skirts, calls the guy a moron, says he was fucking up my whole experience.
And Todd's response is pure best friend. Girl, that's because you're such a hottie. It really shows that close bond they have, The different ways she communicates.
Definitely. And then, almost like whiplash, we get this incredibly intense email from Monica to Shongo. Early morning, 5:55 a.m.
So intense.
Yeah.
She says she's 24/7, 350, happy with him. Basically, almost constantly. Calls him the best lover ever.
It's extremely passionate, very explicit about their physical connection, down to describing, intimate details. That kind of intensity, that deep connection she's expressing.
It hangs in the air, right? Because what comes next is jarring. Makes the shift even more dramatic.
So, right after sending that email to Shongo, she's telling Todd about a potential job with NBA player Jay Williams. Says it's a green light, asks Todd to be a reference. She's definitely moving forward professionally.
Yeah, keeping those plates spinning. But then the mood just crashes. Shongo sends this incredibly long, raw email. 9:44 a.m., only a few hours after her passionate message.
The timing is just, wow. He blames issues with his MSE computer, but that's clearly not the real issue.
Not at all. He dives straight into this stressful week, talks about Brooklyn and moving forward. But it's more than stress. It's frustration boiling over.
He brings up some offensive remark from the day before and then really lays into her about her level of transparency, or his perception of it anyway.
Right. He says she gives him info in bits and pieces, like she's holding back, keeping herself safe, just in case.
And he claims this makes him feel crazy about things he wasn't told. He acknowledges she needs to protect herself, her kids, fair enough. But then he contrasts it with his own supposed openness.
Yeah, he lists things like screensavers, women who call, my view on being wed, saying he doesn't sneak around. It feels defensive, almost like he's building a case for himself.
Exactly. He insists he hasn't hidden anything, doesn't put himself on her computer, demands transparency about silly personal info on the phone, especially when she's at his place. 310.
He really hammers the point about how much access he's given her. ATM cards, info about this house, the keys, bank info. He even says she's met people he's been involved with or wanted to be involved with.
It's a laundry list to prove he's stepped up to the plate. He says he doesn't care anymore if her jaws are tight about something. It's a full emotional dump.
And then this line, it's a real turning point. I will not have another job being to make sure you are comfortable in my world.
Yeah, that's him drawing a hard line, basically saying her comfort isn't his responsibility anymore. And then the kicker.
Oh, I know. I am sorry for the lack of dick these days. Go get some more, please. I mean,
It's astonishing, isn't it? Just completely out of left field. Is it deflection? A weird power play? It's hard to even know. It just shatters any sense of shared intimacy right there.
totally.
Yeah.
And then he launches into this huge list of all the things stressing him out.
Everything. The dog, the table, the utilities, the house prep for the realtors, the bitch upstairs, our dog, Riverside, Baltimore, Africa, Superstar, audiobooks, and a partridge in a pear tree.
Seriously, like everything but the kitchen sink. He's painting himself as completely overwhelmed.
And he uses that to frame her earlier comment about only coming back when invited as her making his house slightly less of a home for us. It's all very charged, very much about his feelings, his pressures.
And while all this is happening with Shongo, Monica's dealing with her own serious stuff. She loses her phone, says she's feeling a bit depressed.
Which, you know, losing a phone is annoying, but a bit depressed feels heavier, especially given everything else.
And then the really hard news hits. Her father passed away on Tuesday.
It's just devastating. Puts everything else, the work stress, Shongo's outburst, into such a different perspective. You realize the immense weight she's carrying.
Incredible resilience, though, because even with the grief and the fact that she and Shongo are basically living together but not speaking, her career stuff keeps moving.
Right. She mentions a good interview at the Met Opera, expects an offer from another place, American Friends, for the Hebrew University. That Jay Williams job is still possible, too.
It's almost like work is her anchor, you know, the one area where she can maybe find some forward motion, some control.
And then there's this weird, frankly bizarre exchange with her ex, Coach.
Oh, yeah. He sends her some crude, sexually explicit message involving Shongo. Just, who knows?
Monica's reaction is telling, though. She calls Shongo Snob Shongo, back to Coach, kind of playing along maybe, but then immediately forwards it to Todd. Like, can you believe this guy?
And Todd's reply is perfect Todd. Calls Coach truly on the crack of life, puts him on idiot patrol at his highest level. Just pure, unfiltered best friend support.
Which she clearly needs. She tells Todd how she handled Shongo. Shongo's email didn't just take it. She wrote back, counterattacking everything he said.
Good for her. She says Shongo's now in quiet mode because I put him on blast. She stood her ground.
And Todd's take on Shongo, super blunt, compares him to a character in an Lynn Harris novel, says he needs a backbone, needs to stop bitching out.
He tells her Shongo's intimated by your skills and adds, trust me, I've never lied to you.
That's some serious friend validation right there, suggesting Shongo's anger might be about his own insecurity.
Yet Monica tells Todd it's going to get better. She holds on to that hope, says she's fully protected, the universe is forever constant with me, that inner strength is something else.
She does show vulnerability, though. She reaches out to his sister Mia, asks how Mia and her husband handle finances when things are tight and stressful.
Yeah, admits she fucked up and forgot to pay one of the bills. It's such a relatable human moment, seeking practical advice.
Mia's advice is straightforward. Admit the mistake, talk constantly, plan together. Simple, solid stuff. Monica says she didn't quite phrase her own admission that way to Shongo, but apparently he told her not to worry about the bill. A tiny moment of normalcy. Or maybe just deflection from him.
Could be. But the week ends with Monica needing space. She heads home to Beacon for a week. Says she can't stand Shongo's theatrical drama.
And ends with that classic Monica line, "This is why I remain a single girl for life, card-carrying heifer." LOL. Using humor, even when she's clearly hurting and exasperated. But even after declaring herself a single girl for life and needing a breather, what does she do? Send Shongo an email from Beacon.
Right. The subject line is just, "I need a favor." It shows she's still invested, still connected, despite the drama and the distance.
She starts by describing this awful train ride, journey from hell, and then the puppy having an accident on her nice floors, some lighthearted complaining about her son, Kyle. It sort of grounds things in everyday life again.
Yeah, softens the tone before she gets to the real point, favor. And it's quite profound, actually.
It really is, she asks him. This week, no negative thoughts or vibes at 310. His place. Fill the house with positivity, please. No negative fear-based energy.
She even suggests getting sage, putting on jazz. It's a plea for an emotional reset, for peace in their shared space, even if she's not physically there.
And she asks him to visualize packing boxes, bubble wrap, focusing on moving forward together, building that future.
And then the ending. So vulnerable. I love you more than just a little bit.
Wow, after everything, she still puts that out there. Her commitment feels so strong.
It's incredibly poignant, and it makes what happens next even more devastating. Because remember that woman's intuition she mentioned earlier in the week?
Oh yeah, that feeling that there was a third party involved with Shongo.
That intuition was spot on. While she's working on his website at his house, his Mac has finally fixed messages start coming in on his computer.
She ignores the first one, but then another one pops up. And these aren't innocent messages, they are graphic, explicit. One is from Shongo to a woman he uses for voiceover work. It details sexual acts. And this bizarre payment involving Arizona iced tea.
Jeez. And second one, to someone called Miss Flat-Chested. Even more explicit details about encounters mentioning leopard heels in the air.
Yeah.
It's undeniable proof of infidelity.
Stark graphic proof, completely contradicting his demands for her transparency, his claims of his openness.
And her reaction. This is what really gets me. It says she doesn't react. Instead, she feels relief because her suspicions are true.
Relief. Isn't that not rage, not tears, but relief. It speaks volumes about the psychological burden of not knowing, of suspecting, but having no proof.
Yeah. Like the confirmation, however painful, is almost easier to bear than the constant uncertainty and intuition nagging at her. It's a strange kind of peace, finding out the truth you suspected all along. So this week took us through the whole spectrum, didn't it? From those initial hopeful travel plans all the way to betrayal confirmed in black and white. It's just raw.
Absolutely raw. And you see Monica's incredible strength shining through all of it, managing grief, career pressures, and this incredibly volatile relationship. Her resilience is remarkable.
And that reaction, the relief makes you think, doesn't it? About how sometimes knowing the hard truth, finally having clarity, can be its own form of liberation. Even if it hurts.
Definitely. So for you listening, what does this bring up? How do we handle those gut feelings, those intuitions that whisper uncomfortable truths?
When people we care about show us sides we didn't expect, or maybe suspected but didn't want to see, Monica's journey shows that even with immense pain, people find ways to process, to seek clarity, to keep going.
And think about that final plea she makes to Shongo, even after she knows, I love you, more than just a little bit. It captures that messy, magnetic, deeply human complexity of love the diaries show us.
It makes you question what transparency really means in a relationship. And how do you protect your own peace, find your own zen corner when chaos erupts, especially when your worst fears are confirmed?
Maybe take a moment to think about your own relationships. How do you handle truth and openness? How do you support yourself and others through those really tough, stressful times? Sometimes just facing what's under the surface is the first step.
Join us next time as we continue unpacking the Shongo Diaries. There's always more to uncover about the human heart. Until then, stay curious.
And just like that, the storm has passed. For now, Monica's tuition was right. The chaos settled, but the tension lingers like the last note of a slow jazz song. Jobs are on the horizon, love is complicated, and secrets, well, some will stay hidden. Through it all, one thing's clear. Real love isn't neat, it isn't simple, but it is unforgettable. This is life, messy and magnetic, and we'll be back next week to see what the heart really wants.